Dad!
So, I mean, the first thing that I think struck me when I started climbing with Ethan regularly is like how talented he is. And it's funny that, I used to think like, my God, this guy's made a career out of climbing things in 10 tries or less. Which, when you think about all the stuff that he's done over the course of his career, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, he's just pretty impressive to have done so many things so quickly.
Ethan was a very sweet, easy child. He was no temper tantrum, almost no whining. The one thing he was really into was sports of any kind. He just wanted to be doing different sports or watching sports or talking about sports. I think partly why Ethan was such an easy and pleasant child was because his mind was always on the outdoors and sports. That was his focus. It wasn't, give me this, I want this, or I don't like this other kid. And he was always very nice to other people.
I think the thing that made me want to start climbing was just walking into Mission Cliffs and realizing what people were doing in here, and just making so much sense to me. I didn't really know what outdoor rock climbing entailed, but as soon as I started climbing, I was just instantly hooked. And then after I started doing my first competitions, then I was like a lifer, automatically.
When he really got into the comps, he was very good. I was kind of amazed because it seems like kind of a high pressure thing to do with all these people watching, and you have some limited time. And
it was clear that Ethan was really motivated to compete and to climb hard, and he was interested in climbing outside. He was just this sort of phenomenal kid, the local hero, kind of. And that's sort of how it started. But.
This is dangerous, by the way. Yeah. Hi, Coco. Hi. We got some friends here. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, she usually barks. Wow. Good girl, Coco. This is what I like to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. She loves it. That's a old Mountain Hardwear poster.
What time is it?
It's some 20-foot tall sport route in Switzerland. I think it's in Cresciano.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It literally looks like you're traversing right above the ground. I was sort of it's bouldering.
It's actually a really sick climb.
Okay.
And it's if it was in the States, it probably would just be a high ball. But they probably bolted it a long time ago when people weren't doing 20, 25 foot,
right.
513s or whatever. But over here we have my I've only had a couple covers, and they've never been climbing or rock and ice. But I've been on the cover of San Francisco magazine, so.
As a mind-body healer?
For sure.
That's actually not even about me, the Mind Body Healers. That was just part of, I think they interviewed me because they wanted to know who I'd go see or whatever.
Oh, okay.
2007, Jumbo Love, projecting Jumbo Love, pre-First Ascent. 2015 Jumbo Love.
So
these photos were taken on almost the same part of the climb, 12 years apart. This is the bipolar bear. Isn't that a funny name? Bipolar. As soon as I started doing youth competitions, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do forever. This is my thing now. I just, lived at Mission Cliffs.
he actually used to unicycle to the gym with his backpack on in San Francisco.
I came here to escape. I came here to have a good time, challenge myself, see friends. Once Touchstone kind of expanded and grew, the community grew, and so my family grew, basically. You know, once you fall in love with real rock climbing, the gym can still be fun, and it can still be like a place to train and hang out and be with your community and challenge yourself, but the rocks are what really call to you after that. Take.
Let's go. Oh, wow. Fail.
When you have access to like a pro climber, what you realize is that they have their own struggle, their own, it's like you read about it, somebody sends something in a magazine and you don't really get a sense of like whether they thought they could do it, like whether they were frustrated. You don't get a sense of the journey that they go on. I think when you see people achieve at a high level for themselves and you understand the journey, it's very special. And I think that that's a nice thing about sort of having an insight into Ethan.
The challenge of pushing yourself and climbing is a big part of it for me. Like without the challenge, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. I feel like there's really no difference between like the physical and mental challenges in climbing. Like they're kind of one and the same. What I can't get my mind to consider a possibility, I can't get my body to do. So every physical challenge kind of starts with a mental challenge. Like you have to believe something's possible in order to do it. You don't necessarily have to leave the ground believing that it's possible or that you're going to do it, but if you want to do it, you have to decide at some point that you can do it. The next step is just like keep trying to make links, really. Just like keep rehearsing the moves and get them down to muscle memory. And it'd be nice to one hang it. Yeah, that'd be nice. I already know I can do it deep down. I just need to know it more on a more surface level. Oh, that hurts. Take. Oh. No monos. Oh.
There's all kinds of impedance to success, and most of it comes from you. It's not the rock. Some of it's conditions and these like more things that are beyond our control, but like a lot of it is our own mental game, and that I think is the most interesting part, but also one of the most difficult to manage.
You see that?
Yeah.
Note to self. Close eyes when blowing out the bird's nest.
Yeah, he is who he is. I think that's fair to say that the person that the media gets is the person that I know.
Namaste.
I mean, there are things I know about him maybe the media doesn't get, but everyone's different in front of a camera. And that's when you live a large part of your life in front of the camera, it's not always going to like add up 100%. But I'd say that he's the same in all circumstances, or that the seam is so smooth that even people close to him can't tell.
I feel like a tetherball. I try to be as honest and supportive as I can of all of my friends, which just I feel like just includes the entire climbing community. And so I think that if people do what they want to do and they lead by example and they tell their story in like an honest, relatable way, that's giving back, It's not like I became a professional climber to give back, I just wanted to like climb as much as possible. But now I have the opportunity to share my story when I hear people respond to the stuff that I put out there, validating it and saying it resonates with them and that they really relate to it, and that, or if it's like inspiring to them, then that gives what I do such a deeper meaning than it otherwise would.
I really admire him. He's really a wonderful person. His dad had a massive stroke a few years ago and is completely disabled and can't really, he's bedridden. And Ethan cares for him so much and so lovingly. He does everything for him. He's at a 24-hour care facility, but Ethan goes and flosses his teeth and takes him to appointments and helps him wash up. And I'm so impressed with how caring he is. And he loves animals, and he loves the earth, and I think he's a really great person. And very kind to people.
You know, it's funny, Ethan talks about how climbing has this is sort of absurd in some way. It's like you're flying around the world to climb on hard rocks. It's like there's something kind of superfluous sounding about that, and it does sort of seem absurd. When you imbue these projects with, self-doubt and belief and lining up your self-worth with the success, just all of the things that go into success at a cost, it suddenly becomes this very human, very special thing, and not just some meaningless hobby. And I think that's the thing that for me is addictive about rock climbing, is the thing that makes it meaningful. And when I see people go through that, it's the most inspiring thing. And with Ethan, you see this in his climbing, especially recently, and I think also with his dad and with his shoulder, and this just continuous trying and engaging and effort and success.
That's it. Yeah. Got it. Breathe. Nice. Good. Yes!
Oh my god! Who's the champion?
Next is Jumbo Love. Oh man! I'm gonna get closer. I have to take a step into it.
It's tempered, so it'll just crumble
Do you need a
into a
rock
million pieces.
that
It won't
Really?
splinter. Yeah, tempered glass blows up into a million pieces, or it'll just
Okay, here we go.
flake. Ooh,
It's okay.
a clean hole
It's
with the rock.
okay. Don't worry.
Wow,
We're gonna need another rock.
you can hear it. That sucked.
Caught myself. I'm gonna have to go. Wow, that was actually really impressive.
Well. Good goal.
What are those things?
Oh, hey, my wallet. Thanks.